There you are, again, some meditation. Now just let me check everything is in the right place. Just bear with me for a second. Meditation's coming. Okay, 2 out of 3, nearly there. Just got to check Facebook. Nearly there. Meditation's coming. Be there with you very shortly. There we go. Good. Okay, how are you? How's the day going? Going all right? I hope it is. It's all right if it's not, but I hope it is. We're going to do some meditation now. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work I do. I will explain about further emergence when we're finished the meditation. But for now, if you're used to meditating, that's brilliant. Can you hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation? There's lots of different styles of meditation. This is what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with the part of me that I connect to every night when I go to sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm dreaming and then I drop at the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I have no thoughts, I've got no memory, no emotions, no personality, no body, no country, no house, no nothing. I don't even have me. I sort of cease to exist. Certainly in the way that I normally register my existence, which sounds terrible. Sounds like death, doesn't it? And yet I love going to bed, and when I wake up in the morning I feel refreshed. So wherever I've been is good. Some part of me knows that, and that's the place that wherever I go, that's where I want to go to in meditation. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't try to do this lying down because you'll fall asleep. And if you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep, both of which are kind of counter to what we're trying to do. So as I say, I've got no thoughts in this place. It's somewhere my mind can't seem to get to. So I have to figure out some way of working with my mind to sort of part the curtains of my mind. I like to think of it like that, to get into this place. So I make an arrangement with my mind where I just say, can you just stop thinking for the next 15 minutes, please? And my mind is on board for that idea at this stage. I've been meditating a good while, many years, and it's okay with it. So if you're new to meditation, your mind is going to be on board because it's a new thing and it's interesting. But if you're trying to build a practice, where you meditate regularly, like a couple of times a day or maybe every day, then after a while your mind could get bored with it. So you need to give your mind the sorts of things that minds like, so minds like thoughts and they like ideas and concepts, that kind of thing. So maybe watch some videos about meditation, maybe read some books about it. That's the sort of thing your mind will like and go, oh yeah, okay, now I'm on board. So then the next thing is to stop thinking. That is easier than you would think, because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be the content of my thought, the structure is always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. And as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. So the practice of meditation, it runs parallel to the intention of meditation. So the intention of my meditation is to go to this deep, deep, profound, still, calm place. There's sort of, the words that you use to describe meditation, Zen-like. And then the intention, or the practice of meditation, starts as soon as I stop thinking. And it pretty much goes, I turn off the pictures, I turn off the sound, so I stop thinking. Then some time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, I'm thinking. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, I bring myself back to not thinking. And then some more time will pass, I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm thinking again. So turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. And some more time will pass, I'll discover I'm thinking again, and so on. So the practice of meditation is, every time I discover that I'm thinking, I bring myself back to not thinking. Okay, and that's an important thing to note, because it's easy to get the misconception that in order to meditate correctly, you shouldn't be thinking at all, which isn't, in my experience, at all. It's more of a dance between these two things. Sometimes I'll be very deep in this deep, still place, and other times I'll be discovering that I'm thinking. And both are powerful. It's powerful when you're in that deep, still, profound place. It's also powerful when you're discovering that you're thinking. The power side of it mightn't be that obvious. But if you're like me, the sorts of things that you think about are to do with you. So why did I do that thing? What am I going to do about that other thing? Why did I say that to that person? Whatever. Now, if I'm in the middle of meditation and I discover that I'm thinking and I'm having one of those thoughts, one of those very me-centered thoughts, and I go, oh, I'm thinking, and I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound and make it disappear. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself is, that thought that you just had, well, that you thought was you and that you were it, well, you just made that disappear. So you're not that thought. You're definitely not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else. That's very powerful to repeatedly do that. Repeatedly come back to that. So the main thing is not to add to your thinking by thinking that you're doing it wrong or thinking that you're thinking too much. There's no right amount of time. So it actually changes from day to day anyway. It changes from hour to hour. So you could meditate in the morning and hardly any thoughts at all, and then you could meditate in the afternoon and have lots of thoughts. There's no right way to do it. But just the main thing is, every time you discover that you're thinking, bring yourself back to not thinking, and you'll be doing great. Now, while all that is happening, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. And I have a system for that. I scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again, very slowly, very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. Particularly with using my out breath. I use my out breath to let the tension go, because it's good, natural to just, let it go. But it's also a good way of bringing my awareness to my breathing, because it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So using your out breath for that is very helpful. Also, as I'm scanning my body, I'm paying particular attention to any structures that go across my body. So, because structures that go across my body, mostly my body runs longitudinally, but any structures that go across, they have a tendency to accumulate tension. A bit like, I kind of think of it like a log going across a stream. Picks up all the leaves and the twigs and the branches, except in my body, it's tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, they're all transverse sites. So shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. Having a nice quiet room is very helpful when you're starting out in meditation. Reason being, when you close your eyes, your hearing just amplifies, and one of the things that triggers thoughts is noise. So the quieter the room, where you're not going to be disturbed, it's going to help your mind not think. And then the other thing I do is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, but if you're new to meditation, I would set it shorter. Set it for like 5 minutes and then repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Okay, now somebody is asking a question. Someone's saying, what if I get hungry while medicating? Okay, well that's a different thing. Maybe they meant meditating. It's only 15 minutes. I don't think it's actually easier to meditate on an empty stomach than on a full stomach. But I mean, it's actually quite a good thing to meditate directly after you have dinner, because you'll actually feel how much food is in your stomach. So often it's quite easy to overeat without realizing it. So yeah. But if you get hungry, yeah, it's only 15 minutes if you can just wait till afterwards. Someone else is saying, I love you. Oh, it's the same person. Oh, that's very good. Agent of Sadness. Well, thank you very much. That's lovely. Okay, so let me just set my timer. Off we go into the mystery. So if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside, then take a little while to come back from there before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you feel like you've lost the inner space, then you can just close your eyes again, reconnect. Oh, yep, there it is. Open your eyes. Oh, no, lost it. Close them again. Use your eyes like a valve to sort of balance the inner state and the outer space. So as I said at the beginning, these daily meditations that I do are part of Further Emergence. Further Emergence is to do with growth, inner growth, growth in consciousness, spiritual growth, whatever way you want to describe it, but growth on the inside. And the idea is that, like, when your body is growing as a child and you become an adolescent and you become an adult, your body kind of stops growing, but you keep growing on the inside. And just like when you were a child, you might have gone through a period of accelerated growth, or what are called growth spurts or growth pains. The same thing happens on the inside, and that keeps going for the rest of your life. You can go through periods of growth and then accelerated growth, and it's the accelerated growth that's what Further Emergence is about, because they're the ones that are hard to deal with, because much like when you're a kid, you know, growing pains can be difficult, and they're natural but can be painful and difficult. So it's the same on the inside. When you go through a growth spurt on the inside, it can be painful and difficult as well, but lots of other things as well. Like it can be easy to confuse it with, like, oh no, there's something wrong, whereas it's just a naturally occurring process. But it can be very disorienting. Things can either feel like they're speeding up, or you can feel like you're stuck. You can get physical symptoms. You can feel very sort of dislocated from your life. You don't recognize your life, or you don't recognize yourself in your life. You can feel very isolated because you can feel like no one understands what you're going through, or no one understands you, and lots of other things as well. So these meditations are helpful because the more familiar you are with your inner space, the easier it is to navigate these difficult periods of accelerated growth. There's also a Zoom group every Friday, and that's a chance to sort of see other people and go, oh, okay, so this isn't just me. Other people are going through a similar thing. There's questions and answers. There's more in-depth meditation. So that's another thing I do. And then I work with people one-on-one as well. And that's a combination of what I like to think of it as like in front of the scenes and behind the scenes work. So in front of the scenes is talking and questions and working it through. And then I also do distance behind the scenes work with them as well. So if that sort of resonates with you, or, you know, sounds like it's got a ring to it, then follow along on the different channels, either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Like, subscribe, or follow, I think it is. Just so you can kind of keep up with it, keep it in the forefront of your mind. Or you can go to the website either and have a read about it as well, furtheremergence.com. So thanks for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.